The old saying is pressure makes diamonds. I think it's more fair to say that pressure either makes or breaks a person or a player. In the case of Lamelo Ball, at the start of his NBA career, he's showing traits of a special athlete, using the pressure and the expectations to lift his game up and fuel him going forward. Let's take a closer look at Lamelo's journey and later talk about the start of his highly anticipated NBA rookie season. Being an initial part of the Big Baller brand and the son of LeVar Ball brings great attention to a kid. That's exactly what happened to Melo and his two brothers. The youngest of the Ball brothers has been in the limelight since his early teens. It all started with his outlandish and outspoken father LeVar going on about his eldest son Lonzo and how he and his brothers are born to be basketball superstars.
Dominating basketball players ever to be raised.
Fitting for their last name, it truly seems like a symbolic predestination for the Ball brothers. We really can't blame LeVar for supporting his sons and pushing them to become great athletes and future stars.
Terrible, son. I thought you was better than that, man. You think you're bigger than what you are, and you're not. You're not a good leader, son.
And it seems to be working. At least for one of them. The great values that he taught his sons may produce a future NBA franchise player. The story began to heat up in early 2016 when young Lamelo Ball in his high school freshman season teamed up with his two older brothers Lonzo and LiAngelo to play for Chino Hills High School. After a good start to the season, he helped Chino Hills go undefeated for the season with a 35-0 record and was named Freshman of the Year alongside teammate and future lottery pick Onyeka Okongwu. His sophomore year is where he really started getting major attention on a national level. First making headlines for hitting a half-court shot 2 seconds into a game, and then a now famous performance against Los Osos High School going off for 92 points. That's right, 92 points. On the other hand, he was heavily criticized by some analysts because of cherry picking, where he was many times waiting near half court to get an open shot on his team's next possession instead of defending. Nonetheless, an impressive feat to score 92 points in a high school game, and LaMelo made headlines. After that promising start, it became a rocky road for the youngest Ball. His father yet again made headlines by disapproving of his new high school coach, resulting in Melo leaving Chino Hills and starting to be homeschooled, with LeVar's plans for him to go overseas and start playing professionally. Following that, Melo had an infamous and very unsuccessful stint playing in the Lithuanian Basketball League, where he was given low minutes and simply found himself not ready physically and mentally to compete professionally. LeVar's dispute with Melo's head coach about giving him more playing time in an injury that Melo sustained, which didn't help him either, saw him leave Lithuania and come back to the United States. After brief playing time with the Los Angeles Ballers of the Junior Basketball Association, the league his father started, and toured with the team in Europe, he returned to the United States to continue his senior high school season. Ball joined Spire Institute and Academy, coached by Jermaine Jackson, and competed at the Grind Session World Championship Tournament. LeVar was truly molding and shaping his son into becoming a great athlete and a leader for his team, which Melo struggled with. There were big question marks on LaMelo's consistency, and with the clips of him a year prior getting a Lambo for his birthday and living a lavish life, everyone was wondering, will he truly become an NBA star? And even questioning, will he make it to the NBA? Melo responded accordingly by leading Spire to the final of the tournament while being named the MVP. Even though they didn't win the championship, Melo showed that he wants to play and improve in order to reach the highest level. His next step would determine his development and play a big factor in why he's now separating from the pack of his fellow draft classmates. In the past, Melo, just like his brothers, verbally committed to playing at UCLA at the age of 13, citing it was his dream school. Fast forward, and several years later, LaMelo's professional stint threatened his NCAA eligibility, and he stated considering alternative options playing in the G League or other professional leagues in China or Australia. In June 2019, he signed a 2-year contract with the Illawarra Hawks of the NBL in Australia. It showed to be a great move for Melo, as he got to compete with professionals yet again, but now much more ready for the challenge and against much better competition than in college. After a few solid performances, an injury to Hawks starting point guard Aaron Brooks saw LaMelo gain an important role for the team. In November, Ball recorded a triple-double, thus becoming the youngest player in the NBL to do so. The next game, after recording yet another triple-double, he became the first player in the league's history to have back-to-back triple-doubles since the league switched to 40-minute games in 2009. In January of the next year, Melo parted ways with the Hawks and started preparing for the 2020 NBA draft. His time in Australia showed him as a true passing prodigy with a good size and very good rebounding ability for a point guard with inconsistent shooting and a funky release, but with room to improve. In the 2020 NBA draft, LaMelo was selected as the 3rd overall pick by the Charlotte Hornets, and the Buzz City started buzzing along with the whole NBA. Even though we have a small sample size as of now, LaMelo Ball's been putting on a show thus far, showing glimpses of brilliance in terms of passing with some very good scoring outings. His game seems to be perfectly suited for today's NBA. Fast-paced and relentless, in my opinion, he's one of the examples of how the game will be in the future years. He already became the youngest player to record the triple-double in league's history and is top 20 in assists, as well as 11th currently in steals. Still, inconsistent with his shot and defense, he's an improved free throw shooter, shooting about 80% from the line, and is showing very good defense activity with his quickness and movement. Watching LaMelo Ball play, you can just feel the enjoyment he has on the court with his big smile and overall exciting style of play. He looks to be making the most of his time on the ball, as he is not the main ball handler on this Hornets team, with a certified all-star that is Gordon Hayward and with Terry Rozier seemingly developing into a legitimate scorer. It's also worth noting his energy and motor while playing, which is something his dad talked about as a key to his son's game. I believe this is an underrated part of his play and something that fits in perfectly in today's NBA. Watching his game develop, I would go as far as to predict he's going to be one of the best passers in the league in the near future, as it's truly a part of his game that is special. One thing he needs to improve on is being able to slow the game down as well. He doesn't need to go 0 to 100 every time he has the ball. Great players are able to slow down and stop in order to create space for themselves and their teammates. The pure joy and confidence LaMelo plays with is certainly great to see and gives a promising look to his NBA career. At this point, he certainly looks like a lock for the Rookie of the Year, and LeVar is smiling. But what do you guys think? Is LaMelo a future All-Star or even a future franchise player? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.